Hello friends, welcome to channel Raise a Blade. I'm your friendly neighborhood Reza, and I have for you today one of my typical, hey, here's what Hit the Bottle has released lately, and here's some nail art I've created with it kind of videos. If you're new to my channel, I do tips and tricks, and I do lots of reviews and inspiration. So there's lots in my back catalog for you to binge on if you so choose, and I would love it if you like this video. Please give it a big old thumbs up, comment below. Your comments are how I know if I'm doing okay. And of course, do subscribe. You'll get the notifications if you click the little bell. Make sure it's solid so you get them all, and then you'll find out when I release a new video. Like, for example, today's new video, which is very exciting. But before I go into all of this awesomeness, I want to tell you all that I did upgrade my phone. These Galaxies no longer have an AV jack, so my normal microphone is not going to be able to be used anymore. So right now I'm using some kind of wraparound headphoney things. Let me know in the comments whether the sound is okay. And now I think we can move on. There's a lot to talk about today. You might expect from one of my videos that you'll learn something, of course, but also the trivia that you're going to learn today is not compiled by me. This is something that Michelle from Hit the Bottle is super interested in, and I am going to be so excited to share it with you. If you don't know much about graffiti, wait till the second half of the video, and I'll try to put timestamps in there we're covering 2 plates, and we're covering the new neon collection for the jelly shots. And all of the different polishes here, these are stamping polishes, but they are sheer since they're jellies. They're great for lead lighting and pond manis and all sorts of other stuff like that. I actually don't remember what started at the beginning of my sentence, so I don't know where I was going with that. But this collection, I'm going to talk about the second half. These are really cool. I did put in the white sheer, which is called Polar Bear, from my own collection. And Banksy is the new kind of neutral for the jellies. And this one is a sheer gray. So I am super excited to talk about these things. First things first, I'm going to go to the oldest plate in this collection, as in one that's been out long enough so that in the description box, you'll find where to buy these things. This very second, the jelly shots of the neon collection of them is actually, I think I knew where I was going. They're all named after different graffiti artists. So this is really neat. Anyway, so they're in Australia at Hit the Bottle's own website right now. And I know Beautometry has them on pre-order on that site. And do look at the info on pre-orders. Usually, if anything you put in your cart for a pre-order, it's going to ship at the same time as everything that's shipping later. So make 2 different purchases if you're going to ship, if you're going to get a pre-order, but you want maybe a plate now. All right. So those are on pre-order, and I'm sure other places in the U.S. will get them too. Like Lantern and Wren usually carries all of Hit the Bottle's beautiful things. So this plate, though, is called Stitchcraft, and this is the plate I've had the longest. I haven't done a lot of sample nail art from it because I have done a couple of other swatches that I really enjoyed. Normally I go through every little image and I tell you what's what, and I didn't prepare this time. So I was a fiber artist as my primary hobby. I used to design clothing. I used to do embroidery. There's some things I can't do with my hands anymore, so it's a little sad, but I should know a lot of this stuff. I knit, my mom and all my sisters crochet. This is just full of these kind of images, and they're wonderful. So let me start up here. This is embroidery floss. If you just heard that, that is my Gozer buddy. He's my cat, and every time I film, he looks at me like I'm about to maybe explode a watermelon in his face or something. He's like, "What are you doing? I do not understand." So this one is a negative image. So obviously you can put, I don't know why I say obviously, because you might not know it, and I don't mean to sound trivial. But these negative images are great because you can do something like a smush marble where I have multiple videos where I do this. You'll put a bunch of different colors together on a stamper, like this, and then kind of squish them together, and then you stamp them onto the actual nail, whether it's your real nail or a tip / false nail press on. And you'll see, look at all these different colors under here. That's because I did a smush marble and then I covered it with the stamping, and I really love this one. This pink is from Michelle's what's it called, ice something. Anyway, she has some gorgeous pastels, fruit tingles, that's what they're called. Thank you very much, memory. Working for once. And then, of course, I'll show some more of these others as I move on to the next plate and the polishes. But here is a knitted segment. I did a really kind of neutral flaky underneath, and then I did a taupe stamping polish on top. And so you can see this knitted. It's pretty cool. And then this is a embroidered cross-stitch heart with some other cross-stitching below on stamp underneath that. So I think that's all I have to show you for that plate right this very second. Let's talk a little bit more about, so here is some stitching. Is some really cool embroidery here, and then we've got some very kind of abstract looking knit stitches here. These are negative space images. Here we have our cats with balls of yarn. That is a thing, really real, with cats. I tried to knit when I first moved in here, and there was a cat named Nina, who has since passed, but she always used to grab my thread, my yarn that I was knitting with, and she would walk away with it. It was funny but frustrating. So hooked on you with a U and some pins or shears, or maybe pins. No, they're knitting needles, I betcha. Okay. So here's some thread, or, whatever. Fiber, could be yarn, could be whatever, could be embroidery floss. Here is some knit stitch. It's been a long time since I've knitted, and I forget which is garter and which is stockinette and which is everything. But this is a knit pattern, which I can read. But I'm really crushed for time with this video, so I'm not gonna. And here's some cotton. This is all different fibers here. So we've got, and I don't actually know exactly what this is, but it is a really cool negative space image, that I know for sure. And then we have some knotting, the back side of a knit thing, and all these little stitches here, herringbone and stuff. Knit and drink wine, got my knit together. I crochet so I don't unravel. This is one of Michelle's real strengths as a plate designer. All of these little funny phrases, they're just great. I always love them. Knit happens. I'm a naughty, naughty hooker. I'm dying. Okay, so what else do we have over here? I think I've shown you all of this. Here are some, I don't even remember what that's called. I used to know. It's not kneading. I can't, whatever. It's okay. And this is how wool is made. When a ewe and a ram love each other very, very much, they give each other a special hug, and they make little balls of wool that eventually turn into big balls of wool. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And then some more thread. This one's obviously at least 2-ply. They're twisted in a direction, and so they make stronger thread. So that is all I really have to say about that. This is pretty cool. Another negative space design. And then we've got some more balls of yarn and the kitties. So I think that's all I have to show you with that one. And I'm going to move on. Some of these would work really well. Like, I'm thinking of this one particularly would look really great tone on tone. So you do a cream undercoat, a cream base coat, and then maybe some mid-tone tan stamping over it, something like that. Just another idea. As far as this is a knit stamp that I've done with these new neon jellies, and what I did was I used a base coat of very thin polar bear, just super white over these, And then I just a little bit of stroke here and there and here and there, almost like dry brushing, but I didn't wipe off my brush first. I just, you know, did a sort of a random design with all these different colors. I used clear falsies for this particular look. And then after I stamped on it in white, an opaque white, not a sheer white, then I put some glitter on from, you know, dollar glitter polish from LA Colors on Dollar Store. And then I gave it a good old top coat. And I really like this one. So anyway, but that is what I did with this stitch. I mean, this stitch. See? It's very, very lifelike. Okay, so the next plate we have is newer. This is called Home Harvest 01. Very excited about this one. One of Michelle's friends and swatchers, Katya, came. This was a collab between Hit the Bottle and Katya. Tesla Day Nails. Here we go. Definitely follow her on Instagram. Beautiful nail art. Just fabulous. Beautiful nail art. And my Instagram info is in the description field if you need it. So we've got some beautiful, almost like a stained glass look, you know, with the leaves and the snap peas growing. We've got some gnomes. I know that people enjoy them. I really enjoy them. Some people aren't having fun with them, but, you know, there are always little trends with various things. And that's just how it goes. And I feel very lucky that that these gnomes are happening while they're happening. So we have, you know, pumpkin, and we've got a garden kind of here. We've got snailed it, and there are little kind of insects and worms and things that you find in your garden all over here. We've got a scarecrow as well as two shovels that are kind of crisscrossed like the legs. I combined those two. I'll show you the swatch in just a second. Find your inner peas, all sorts of stuff here. It would probably be easier for me to talk about these if I showed you my, I use paper swatches as essentially like proof that they swatch so great that, you know, I can use paper instead of my nails and everything's going to be good. And wouldn't you know it, of course they stamp great. So here's a cool, like, you know, one tile image. Not quite a buffet image because it's not big enough for that, but it is a kind of a single image where you can put one image on a nail and you don't have to do anything special. Although with these, when I'm in a hurry, I just choose one motif to color in over and over again. So like, let's say I took all of these trowels or shovels or whatever they're actually called. I don't garden, can you tell? And I'd maybe, you know, color all their handles in and then maybe do all the leaves green or something like that. And then we have tomatoes, ladybugs. What's this now? Oh, peppers. And then these leaves, they didn't turn out as well as this. I did on the paper, I did a great swatch. A nail art idea I really enjoy. I did. And then same thing, you're going to see a mani in which I colored just like the little potlet things. And then we've got more peppers, we've got corn, we've got snails. Do we have any snakes and puppy dogs' tails too? No, probably not. We have carrots, and is this thyme? I don't know. It's an herb. It looks like an herb. Maybe mint, rosemary, something. We have pumpkin or squash, or it's really fun, and the little segments thereof. We've got a honeycomb here. Really cool sun image. Love it, love it. And I love this potted plant image. It's not called a label. Nope, but that's what I'm calling it in my head right now. And then, you know, whatever. Lots of cool stuff here. Is that like an onion bulb or something? I don't know. They're all so neat. We've got peppers and bees. And yeah, I think that is almost about it. See, here's basil. Maybe this is the small basil. This will happen a lot of times on the Hit the Bottle plates. It's so cool. There will be like these corresponding images. So like You know, here, let's choose one of the gnomes with the shovel, and then we can do some more shovels. There are multiple images with shovels, if I can find them. Anyway, I like the one with the sunflower. Here's one with the rake. I really dig gardening. Hit the bottle. Great on the puns on the plates. It's just all great. And then some rain. Every garden needs rain. Just a lot of, like, just basically a huge plate-shaped recipe for a million wonderful manis. That's essentially what we've got, okay? And then here is, just very quickly, here is my... I always forget that it's so much easier to talk about the designs if I am going from the paper. Anyway, I love all these. They're just all great. I've always wanted to do a button mani, so that one's coming soon. You're probably anticipating these next polishes, so I will swatch them live. Let me get to the example manis that I did for the gardening plate. It's actually called Home Harvest, just to remind you, and this is coming to, I think, everyone who carries Hit the Bottles things, so like Beautometry, etc., etc. Here I did that thing I talked about where I'll take an image, I'll stamp it in black, and then I'll just color some of them in. I used, for these carrots, I used All Out Kings, and then I used, for the green, of course, I used Phase 2. And I really enjoy it, and let me know what you think about that one. Here's my gnome one, and I've got... I really dig gardening, and then I colored these in as reverse stamps, and then here is where I just colored in the pots, and I just colored in a pot on that one, and I left this a naked thumb just because it's dusty and hairy. This polish is a polish that you might recognize from my Fellowship of the Ring Graceful Polish Collection video. If you don't recognize it, haven't seen the video, the link will be in the description box. So now I think, oh no, here we go. I wanted to show you these. So here is one I did with the sun from the Home Harvest plate. And interestingly enough, this background plate is from a pattern plate that Hit the Bottle put out. It's one of my favorite plates of all time. Vintage Grunge. I don't know why I didn't remember that. I use this plate every week. Vintage Grunge. And I used Polar Bear and glitter. Again, it's just something I enjoy. That particular look. And then I did all sorts of tiny little swatches up here. And I did take pictures of those on my actual nails so that you can see how that looks. Here is the scarecrow I built with the 2 crossed shovels as well as the scarecrow. For the background, I really kind of wanted a very unique gradient look. So what I did was actually, sorry, I have to figure out a different way to hold on to support the camera because it's kind of shaking a little bit. Anyway, but I used a wet kind of sponge, I dampened this little guy, and I let it dry out for maybe about 5 to 10 minutes before I squeezed. I mean, you don't want actually a lot of water on it. You just want it to give it that kind of smudged effect. I really enjoyed that. And then I used the other end of the sponge to make a couple of white bits for fluffy little clouds. You'll see that that background bit that is like, you know, the garden behind him is this image done twice. You see, one on either side of him. And then here is the honeycomb. I did some dry brushing underneath that with various different colors. And then the top color is like a white gold from Bee Loves plates. And then I did a bee on top. I really enjoyed that. This is the leaf image that I told you I really enjoyed. I did a gold background, and then I did a gradient that goes from red all the way down to burgundy. So I hope you enjoy these. I would love to hear which is your favorite if you are so inclined to tell me. I don't know that I can really pick one. So here we're going to go with the, now I've already swatched the white for you, and it's kind of precious to me. So I'm not actually going to swipe that one. You've already seen what it does, actually, so it's fine, I think. I'm going to go with Banksy here. Well, why don't I go in order of, I've written down everything as far as what the colors are and who their names are and everything like that. So we have just a heads up, and this is from Hit the Bottle's own description. Jelly polishes can be used for stamping, but they're going to give you kind of a watercolory look, very pale. It'll show up over white, a bit, very pale base color, or if you do it over like your naked nails, that's a good way to do it too. It's kind of fun. The first one, we're going to go in kind of rainbow order spectrum, Lady Pink. Let's read, little focus thing. The First Lady of Graffiti. So I really enjoy, I've grabbed some images of hers, just 2 of everybody. Here is some of Lady Pink's work. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm super impressed there. And All Out Kings is next, but let me swatch this guy first. I need a better kind of a staging area for these things. I keep dropping everything. Ideally, I would be doing these on a sheer swatch ring, but I don't have one right this very second. These neons are so bright and pretty. So, and then the next would, of course, be the orange. The All Out Kings. All right. What do I have to say about the All Out Kings? We have a New York graffiti crew, All Out Kings. They were they're one of the last active crews on the subway. Very cool. I'm going to show you the pictures in just a mo. Or just a tick. All right, so here's the orange. It's not as obnoxious. Well, okay, so I tend to find some neon oranges obnoxious. This is very pretty, actually. I didn't mean to use that kind of loaded word like that. Let's talk All Out Kings, huh? And there you go. So this is a style I see. Is this wild style, Michelle? I don't remember exactly, but this is a style I see a lot in the graffiti that I see as I drive by various parts of the town where I live, St. Louis, Missouri. So what else do I have to show you, huh? Cornbread. And when I was writing my notes, I kept writing his name down as cheesecake. I think it's just because I want cheesecake. I mean, but cornbread's fine too. So, I didn't turn the page on my note about cornbread. I really do like this bright yellow neon. I tend to just brush to death while I chat with you. I'll just yes, I realize that it's no longer functional to keep brushing on, to keep rubbing the brush against the thing. It's just something I do to keep my hands busy, I think. We have the first graffiti writer with cornbread. To attract a girl, he wrote, "Cornbread loves Cynthia along her actual school bus route in Philadelphia." So here is cornbread along with some of his work. Isn't that fun? That's great. All right, so I did those. And then Paradise. Here I am changing all of their handles. Phase 2 is credited with creating bubble letters or softies. As you can see, phase 2. This is Ectoplasm Green. I get to see the new Ghostbusters movie this week, Afterlife. I'm very excited. I'm going to be kind of confined to my seat for a little bit. I fell all the way down the stairs last night. It's been a bit of a week. All sorts of migraines this spring. I know some of you know that already. but the falling of the down of the stairs. At least this time I didn't break my tailbone. All right, so I have a picture to show you of Phase 2's work, but here we go. And this actually does say Phase 2, I think. I can't read letters when they're intertwined like that as well. So, Black Lorette, that's going to be a neon blue. Here's that one. Okay. So, same thing, lead lighting, water marbling, gradients, and pond manis. And I'm going to put the videos where I discuss those things or show tutorials on those things, the ones that I find, I'm going to put them all in the description box. The description box is going to be totally full. That's going to be where it's at. All right. See, I don't have to brush the swatch a million times. So that was Neon Blue, and Black Lorette is a French graffiti artist, and he's described as the father of stencil graffiti. Beautiful, beautiful work. So let me grab Black Lorette's. A couple of things here. A lot of these stencil graffiti artists will kind of do work to talk about change that needs to happen. So this one says Black Lorette stencils, I believe, with a U, which is coincidental. We did talk about that. And then here is a rat with a gun turned into a sunflower or stuffed with a sunflower. Very, very powerful image. So what do we have next? We've got neon purple and we've got Banksy's. So Ben Banksy is the gray. So neon purple is super cool. And I put down some super cool examples on the photo paper as well. So Super Cool 223 is credited with creating the first large mural piece. So, I mean, it totally stands out from all of the other tags that are around. I mean, because you've just got a bunch of people leaving tags, and then you've got this giant mural painting. Very, very cool. So Super Cool 223 and Lee 163 were the original kings of the 2 and 5 train lines in New York City. So a lot of this is in New York, from what I understand. Very rich graffiti world there. See? There you go. And then I'm going to show you Banksy's before I put it down so I don't have to show it to you. Pick this up again. I can put it in my pile of things I've already talked about. Banksy does some work that's just so beautiful. And again, it talks about wanting to embrace change. Keep your coins. I want change. Love it. Love it. So there are those. Pretty much that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching. I have a lot of stuff coming up, but the coolest thing that I'm going to be doing as far as this collection goes this weekend is Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to do, or no, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Nope, never mind 1. I can't be here by noon. So Central Standard Time, US. I'm going to be doing, if any of you remember my Halloween videos that I did for the Advent that Beautometry sent me, and then I kind of used everything in the, that I opened together to make some sample nail art in little lives every day for Halloween. That's kind of what that's kind of the idea. So this Sunday, so the day before Memorial Day, U.S. Memorial Day, is I'm going to get on Beautometry's Facebook group. I'll put a link in the description box, of course. In Beautometry's Facebook group, I think it's called International Nail Art with Beautometry. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do a Facebook Live and keep an eye out. So that is exciting to me. I hope you're also excited. And fine, I'll show you Polar Bear. You twisted my arm. And then, of course, I'm working on all sorts of things, including the Mani by Me box, which I get today. So it usually takes me about 5 days or so to get all of the swatches and things together more when I don't feel well. But that's about it. If I've told you about something else, I am still working about it. I'm still working on it. I'm taking a bunch of different notes about multiple kinds of nail art and things that I know that you want me to cover. So I am tirelessly working to make sure that this is all in future videos. And thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm sorry it was forever and a day. But have an awesome day and go out there and make some beautiful things. Whatever makes you happy.